Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. I wanted to take a few minutes to show you guys my indoor winter garden that I got growing here. I uh, I was given a an AeroGarden a couple of years ago, and I liked it so much I ended up getting a couple of more, and I've just been experimenting with them, and I've had a fair amount of luck using these guys inside. And the big thing is when you're growing stuff inside is warmth and light. And warmth isn't a problem. I'm down here in the basement. It's a pretty constant temperature, but then light is the other one. And because I had these AeroGardens growing, I said, you know what? There's excess light that these AeroGardens are putting out. I don't see any reason why I can't get something else to grow in close proximity to these AeroGardens just traditionally, and that's what I've actually been doing. So I don't know, a month or so ago, I was going through my potato bins here, and I had some that were sprouting, and it's been fairly warm outside all winter long. I said, you know what, I'm going to go out and grab a couple of my buckets that I use in the summertime, and just bring them inside, thaw them out good, and I'm going to put some of these sprouted potatoes that I grew in last summer's garden, throw them in the buckets and see if they'll grow in close proximity to these AeroGardens. And they basically took right off. These are the first two potato plants that I started. Like I said, that's probably at least a month ago or so when I put those in. So I decided to do two more, and I put these two in probably about 10 days, 2 weeks ago, and they're starting to get leaves on as well. So it's been a pretty successful I guess, experiment here. And what I'm going to do is when May rolls around and it gets a little warmer, I'm just going to move these 4 buckets outside and give them basically a jump start. So I'm hoping that I can harvest these at least a month or so earlier than what I normally do, which is typically in July when I harvest my first batch of potatoes. But some of my other stuff that I got growing in here, I got a sort of a cherry tomato plant here, and these were the actual AeroGarden cherry tomato plants, and I put two in this particular AeroGarden, and these plants are actually about a year and a half old, and they just slowly keep bearing. They'll maybe slow down for a little bit, but then they take off again, and it's been pretty much a constant couple of tomatoes here and there for a salad that whole year and a half that I've been growing these. And then I don't know, probably 5 weeks ago or so, I planted some seed that I got out of a clearance bin. It was an heirloom lettuce seed. See if I can show you here what it looks like. That's the kind. There wasn't very many seeds in this, but I said, you know what? I'm going to see if I can't grow them in the AeroGarden and then get them to go to seed, so I can basically have some extra seed that I can put out when the regular garden gets going here in a month or so. And again, these guys have taken right off in the AeroGarden. I find that herbs, those tomatoes, and lettuces are some of the best things that grow in these AeroGardens, and you can never have too much lettuce seed. Lettuce is just one of the easiest things to grow. And then I've got some basil plants growing down there on the bottom. They're not quite big enough to do anything with, but when they get a little bit larger, then we can use them for fresh just with our regular cooking. And another thing that I'm using the residual light for out of these AeroGardens is to do some seed starts. I've got probably 4 different varieties of heirloom tomatoes started there that I'm going to separate when it gets a little bit longer, give a few to the neighbors, and keep the rest for myself. And then I've got some peppers here. This is actually a heirloom pepper. It's like a sweet bell pepper that I've grown for quite a while. They're actually called a Napoleon sweet, and they're a little bit smaller than a regular bell pepper, but they got a really sweet taste. And then I got some jalapenos here. They're not doing so good. They got jalapenos are weird. They take a long time to germinate, and they're just tougher in this cooler climate. But on the flip side of that, if you can get a jalapeno to grow, if you do everything right, two plants will typically give us enough jalapenos to use for fresh, and maybe can some and then to make some hot sauce when they get ripe. And typically, if I got two good jalapeno plants that sort of get to maturity, I got no problems growing jalapenos right straight through till the first frost. And I like doing jalapenos in buckets, because then I can actually, if it looks like we're going to get some cold weather in October or November, I can actually move them in the garage and I can actually extend the season on them out a few more weeks. But the jalapeno seeds there are kind of the only ones that are being slow for me, but we'll just watch them and see what they do. I still got time yet that I can reseed some if those don't take off. And then I'm experimenting with some patio cucumbers, and that's what these guys are here. I got a packet of patio cucumbers about 2 years ago. Kind of forgot about them, and then when I was going through the seeds here this winter, I found them, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try them in the AeroGarden and see what they can do, because they're supposed to be a real small plant, which would actually be perfect for this AeroGarden if I can get these guys to grow. And I planted 2 seeds, and one took right off. The other one was a little bit slower, but they're still both looking fairly decent. So it's going to be curious to see if these guys will actually produce me anything down the road. But I wanted to try them out. And pretty much with these AeroGardens, about every 2 weeks or so, I add a little bit of water. I like using filtered water out of my Berkey, and they seem to like that water. And then I use a liquid fertilizer. This is actually the liquid fertilizer, the AeroGarden brand, again, that I got on clearance a couple years ago. And but you can use a liquid fish fertilizer as well. That works in it as well. And you don't need very much. A couple of capfuls about once a month is more than enough to keep everything growing. But I just keep this little garden going down here in my basement. I switch it around between lettuces and different herbs and stuff throughout the season, and I thought I'd take a couple minutes to show you guys. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. Appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys get a little information, a little entertainment, and some ideas out of my videos as always, and you guys have a good one.